Welcome to Waking Writer. This is Bernita Haynes, and I'm happy to be here with Stephen, a prolific writer who's been translated into multiple languages. While I rarely do video interviews, I had no choice but to make an exception to talk to Stephen. So, not wasting any time, we're going to jump right on in. Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Well, old, very old.
That means you're lucky. That's what that means. So you've been writing for longer than many of us have been alive, and your books have been translated into numerous languages. Tell viewers about your background and specifically what led you to become a writer.
Well, I am writing since the age of 4, and my writing has nothing to do. I remember the first time I might have been 4 or 5 years old, when I went to see a Zorro film, and it got me excited. And the way I cope with excitement is start writing. I came to writing like other people. When they get excited, they read a book, or not a book, but they take a drink. Mm-hmm. So when normally they would take a drink, I started to write poems.
Nice.
And it helped me. And I wrote it in rhymes, and that was a great help. And I want to recommend to all people who want to write to read and try to remember poetry.
So you really feel that writing poetry is very important for actually writing fiction?
Yes. And they rhymes, and it helped. I don't know, it calmed me down. I wrote a poem and that calmed me down.
Interesting, fascinating. So about your latest book then, it's going to be translated, or I should say produced in print. It's already available as an ebook on Amazon. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, 3 Wishes?
Sorry, about what? Much I don't understand the question.
3 Wishes. Tell her about your book, 3 Wishes.
3 Wishes. Well, you see, I was very lucky and successful, and you don't learn from success. So I kept doing all sorts of stupid things, and 3 Wishes is my desire, is a universal desire to start again, or to be young and start afresh.
So almost like getting a fresh start on life. What you would do differently, maybe, if you could go back.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the protagonist, the central character in the book, essentially gets a fresh start.
Yeah, it is. It starts with regrets. Yeah, all the stupid things. When you grow old, then all the stupid and horrible things you did. I lived through the Second World War, when people had an idea that the way to solve problems is to kill people.
And unfortunately, people don't seem to realize that that's still not the solution.
Correct.
So how would you say that you have evolved creatively over time? And what influenced that evolution?
Well, well, right now it's easier because I am old, and there is a lot of memories which I want to tell. But the way I evolved is that I always dealt with things which I felt strongly about. So I think it's a very good, very bad idea for people to have their problems with the rent or whatever, food or whatever, and then take this aside and then try to think of something creative. You can be creative only about the things we actually feel strongly.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
That's just logical. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Women are actually better at that.
Yeah. Interesting. So, speaking of how long you've been writing and how much you've seen, I imagine you've seen some very interesting changes in the publishing world. What are some of the changes you've seen in the world of publishing throughout your life? And how do you feel about those changes?
Well, the changes unfortunately always have a good and a bad side. And so it's great that I can talk to you in the internet and we are not anymore uh, um, uh, confined to the people who run publishing houses. So that's great freedom. But at the same time, as Balzac, a great French writer, said, print was invented to spread misery. because the trouble with any improvement that the more we can communicate, the more we can also spread idiocies.
Yeah. That's always a silver lining, right? The
Yeah.
good with the bad.
Yeah.
I know for me, the publishing industry and all of the advances that